I'm sure the next topic will be expedient.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, totally.
I'm sure it will. On that note, let's get to it. Meta, you are next.
So, it's not expedient. This topic.
It's going to be more expedient than last time.
Yeah, it will be. Thankfully, because there's not much to cover, and we're going to go about it differently. So coming back, I felt like maybe we need to stick to some good solid roots, be consistent on a theme here. And what if I am but a humble servant to all of you in this great empire that we called the Emerald Empire? So going back to Rokugan.
Something a crane would say.
Yeah, right. Look, all right. I don't compare you to an ogre, okay? Don't compare me to
Why not? Ogres are strong and cool.
Yeah, but
they have their own Bushi school.
They do. That's very true. That's absolutely true.
It's really
good. If you said Oni, I'd be upset, but you said ogre, so.
No, you know what? I'll give it to you. I will give it to this. Anybody who compares crab to ogres is completely wrong. I have never once seen an ogre use chopsticks. So
is that a Barahime quote?
That is a Barahime quote.
God, I love her.
She had some great quotes. I love her stuff.
Specifically the scorpion quote.
Scorpion one is good. I love the crane one too. It's just so self-slapping. So last time we talked about L5R, we did talk about the core schools, and we actually kind of tiered them, gave our thoughts on what they did and what they were, and we kind of agreed that the best one, really, when it comes down to it, is the Kita, and the worst one is the Kita Bushi. But the Great Clan Advanced Schools from the core book kind of change things up a little bit, and are very potent, very powerful, and provide a different path. I kind of want to say different, but they're more of an extension and addition to the core schools as opposed to really a different path. So I kind of wanted to go through them. I want to talk about them and just give our thoughts and opinions on like what they are, like how they work. What do you like about them? What are things that you don't care for them? Your kind of your rating for them, and kind of your favorite one out of the ones from at least the core book.
Advanced school or alternate paths or both?
Just advanced. And specifically Great Advanced. Although I don't think any minor clan has an advanced, so
there's a generic one.
Is there a generic advanced school
for all the minor clans? Yeah, it's whatever. I don't even think it's in the main book. I could be wrong.
I don't think it's in the main book either. We'll find out when we go down this wonderful list. So, starting with the top, let's get right into it.
The best one.
Probably the best one, actually. Yeah,
I love this one so much.
The Crab Advanced School, Defender of the Wall.
AKA can't keep me down.
Yeah, I mean honestly, this advanced school kind of does what the Hitabushi school does in a different way and also in a better way. I don't know what to say about it. So, I actually love this school. I think it's so thematically appropriate. I think it only makes what's already really good even better, and it also has probably one of the most broken powers on it.
Don't kill me, Yoni senpai. That's basically what the school does.
Yeah.
More reduction. They can't hurt you as well. And then
I will say that is one of the things is that its first rank is only applicable to things with taint. So if you're not playing anything with taint, it's kind of
it's a dead level.
Yeah,
it is a dead level versus non-things taint. But I mean, if that's
denying explosions on attacks and damage rolls. So nice.
So good. I was gonna say, if that's your buy-in, I mean, to get to the other two ranks, I'll take it.
Yeah,
I will absolutely take it because I mean, 8 damage reduction, so just stacks with everything. Just 8 damage reduction, just auto get it. Oh, what's that? After that, you could just immediately decide, nah, I'm just not affected by that status effect. One of the most detrimental things in this kind of game is status and conditions. And you can just be like, nah, that just doesn't affect me, bro.
And it's once per round without spending void.
So good.
So nice.
So disgustingly good. And again, like I just think it's thematically appropriate. These kind of characters do exactly what they need to do. They need to survive. They need to stop Shadowland creatures. And they will definitely not fall. Because you can't quite literally knock them prone. Prone is condition, and it's not one of the ones exempted from that skill.
I'm not falling. I'm just rolling over.
I always like to think that they just like like any character, like any boss character from like a fighting game or something, they kind of just levitate back upwards towards their feet after the end of the round. That's just how I assume it happens.
Whenever you knock them prone, their feet are still actually touching the ground. So
Yes.
no matter what contorted position they fall upon, they just stand
Michael
back
Jackson.
up.
They just perform a Michael Jackson lead.
That is exactly it.
So that's on a scale of 1 to 5. We'll just pull that right from the thing. I got to give these guys a 5. They just.
I mean, a lot of these are going to be. They're kind of designed to be pretty powerful. Some of them aren't, but a lot of them are designed.
Well, I mean, you have to be a minimum of Insight rank 6 in order to enter these. So.
No, you can go into them early. You just got to meet the prereqs.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I thought you had to go through your full 5 first.
The only, I mean, it's kind of silly too, because like if we really want to get down to it, like the requirements to get into Defender of the Wall are really easy because you have like 4 or 5 out of the requisites leveled up anyway.
Yeah, you're not heavy weapons. You're Earth. You're not skimping on those.
You're not skipping on Earth, and obviously Ahita's probably going to have high strength anyway. So, I mean, these are all requirements that you're generally going to go into regardless. They're not like really off the beaten path. Probably the only one might be defense, or depending on how you look at, or the lore Shadowland. But again, that's not really going against anything a Berserker wall, a Defender on the Wall would do. So.
Berserker on the Wall.
I think they're just a solid 5. I think they thematically fit. I think their conditionals are easy to meet. I think their abilities are strong. And the only one that's an conditional effect makes up for that fact by just saying, nah, you just can't explode anymore, which is potentially one of the most potent things you can do in this game, is explode.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's one of those advanced schools that as a GM, I am almost tempted to say that there needs to be some significant Shadowlands, not just Taint, but specifically Shadowland adventuring happening, because to see the Crab Clan send one of their literal defenders of the wall to go take care of something at Winter Court, that just
it wouldn't make any sense. Yeah,
doesn't make any sense. So
you definitely thematically should make this make sense for your.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Mao?
I don't really have any. I've never gotten to play with them. I've never really looked at them too much.
They're really
as a
good.
whole.
Everything you said, pretty much.
Hey, that's absolutely fine. Then I think we'll just move on to the next one, which my favorite and one that I actually have personal experience with, which is Kenshin Zen from the Crane Clan. Essentially,
best one-on-one fighter.
It is one of the de facto best one-on-one fighters. It will
which makes sense for a Crane, right?
It does. Although we'll get into this in a moment. I'll explain something that's kind of funny about it. It is just it essentially makes you duel better, which already has flaws. You duel better in a system where nobody wants to duel you already.
Because you're already dueling best.
Because you're already dueling best. Yeah.
Win more.
It's win more. It's really what it is. So, I will say though, it has probably one of the best synergies. Because just like with a rank 5 Kakita, and its abilities, you don't know what they are, go watch our other video or look it up in the book. It does again build off of that in a lot of ways. So synergy wise, wonderful. But you are just kind of going into areas you're pretty good at. I like it a lot. I think thematically it makes sense because in order to get into the school in the first place, you actually have to defeat a current member of the Kenshin Zen in either to first blood or possibly to death.
It says the duel does not necessarily need to be to death, but the candidate must win fairly. It also has to be a legal Ijitsu duel, which means it has to be You can't just walk up to them and say, "I'd like to duel you." Like you actually have to have an insult thrown and a reason to have the duel to begin with.
Yeah, which I mean generally is really hard to argue for because likely what it's more about is like you're potentially you're essentially taking a practice bout to see if they're going to accept you or not. It's really more of like an entrance exam more than anything else, because they only want to take people that are better than people already in their school. They don't want to take anybody that's less than. So every generation has to be better than the last. And that's the theory. So like you're essentially going there as an exam to get in, which I really like because it fits with the theme of like what the Crane are, is that they're very legal bound. They are very
You gotta be
honorable.
better
they
at
do,
Bushido and meditating.
yeah, pretty much.
Masters of perfection.
Masters. Yep. They are always perfecting, and you can only get better if you keep perfecting. So, I think some of their abilities are really good. The first one's okay. Again, it works synergizes well. It only enhances what the Crane do already, or the Kikita do. The second rank, I think, it really is already. It is kind of kicking a horse when it's down. Truth be told, more than anything else. But the rank 3, I love so
Yes.
much. This is the one
It's
I
really
love because
strong.
it's so good. There's only, I think, like 2 situations that I can think of where it loses its impact. And outside of those, though, it's great because the moment you hit a target, just one swing, do one swing, hit the target, he is stunned until the beginning of your next turn. That's insanely good.
It actually doesn't even say that you have to hit. It just says if you make only one attack this turn. Oh yeah, opponent you hit.
Any
never
opponent you hit, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it doesn't say if it only says you make one. I was like, wait a minute, it should say if you hit with an attack. But again, I guess that's just picking out wording. So
Yeah,
ignore me.
it's so good, so good. Man.
Yeah.
So that's
So
really
your
good.
situations when it's not good.
We'll get into a moment. The crab defender on the wall doesn't care because he can immediately negate it. And both from his rank 3 from the advanced school as well as just a Hitabushi rank 5 can also negate it on the round afterwards because
Spending a void.
then it's being a void. The other one is actually the next school will be or not the next one, but the one after the next one, which is the Lion's Pride. The rank 3 allows you to hit somebody before you hit them if they make a melee attack. Which means that you can bust out. You can always trade a 1-for-1 against that Kenshin Zen. And if you're a rank 5 Matsu Berserker, you can also cause your attack roll to explode the damage die, which will probably mutilate any Kenshin Zen who goes against it.
Yeah, they're good. They're good measures, basically.
Yeah. They're wonderful measures. They're wonderful.
You're never sad to have one.
No.
They just don't ever want to get caught alone by like 3 guys, essentially.
Yeah, then you have a problem. You're gonna have to turn off one of your abilities to start making your 2 swings if you even got rank 4 of the Kikita Boot.
Yeah.
You've already delved deep into a school that's already suffering much. But yeah, I just love the school. But the requirements to get into it are a little bit frustrating. It makes fire kind of makes sense, sort of, kind of, I guess, maybe. But agility's not really used in duels, so I don't know. And then intelligence is, its own kind of beast. Void makes sense. That absolutely makes sense to get into. EI Jutsu 5 obviously makes sense. But then you've got lore, Bushido, and meditation. Do you really need those to get into the school? Do you need those to be a great Kenshin Zen? I don't know. I don't know if they thematically make sense, but I also
The Crane
understand
thinks
why
so.
at it.
Yeah, I think it's
Apparently.
more the whole Crane bit of every samurai, even if you're just a Bushi of the Crane clan, you also have some form of
Wouldn't it? But then wouldn't it make more sense to say take up an art to go with it?
Well, yes, but I think to a degree, and again, I'm just kind of maybe filling in blanks on my own, but I could see it being that it's the art of knowing every tiny thing about Bushido, the art of really, really centering yourself in meditation. And so it's that epitome of the center stance.
The meditation one I can get, but the Bushido one has never been really their thing. That's always been more of a lion thing, at least
Right.
presented to us as stereotyped as they are. But if you wanted to slap on because Kikita himself not only was a lover of art, but his other art murdering people in legal duels, or illegal. I guess whatever you can take, but
as long as you're dueling, right?
as long as you're dueling. But the Bushido one just kind of feel like out of left field. I could understand if it said you had to take an art of some type, like art, poetry, art, ikebana, art, bonsai tree, art. I don't know.
That's the artisan
songwriting.
school. That's what they gotta do.
I know that's pretty much what the artisan school is. It kind of breaks it apart. But I could see them saying you should take up a art form to make sense for what it is. Perfection both on the field of battle as well as perfection in the beauty of life and itself, which might be done through an art form, which just makes sense to me. but I can understand why they do Lord Bushido 4 as well. I can get it. I
Oh,
just
yeah. Well, yeah. Apparently, the description is that they were well known for their skill, speed, and dedication to Bushido.
Yep, it is part of their description, so it makes sense. I just think overall, thematically for me, does so. But what the fuck do I know? Personally, I give them a 3 or 4, just if I were to rate them.
I give them a 4. It's the second part, the second technique, just the dueling one. The dueling one is like that's like the part, and the requirements suck, but the rank 3 is just so good.
The rank 3 is really what brings everything together.
Yeah.
The rank 1 is either hit or miss depending on if you got rank 5 or not, because you either get it for skirmishes or it's only going to really show up when you take up that one moment to center yourself in some skirmish or whenever you're. But if you get it with the rank 5, then the rank 1 becomes way better. But the rank 3 is really what makes the song.
I feel like one of the other things to mention too. Granted, you can get into it by any of the Crane Clan schools, but chances are you're going to be doing the Kakita Bushi.
Yeah.
And to a degree, like again, if you don't have to enter them after, you can enter them whenever. I feel like it does kind of suffer too from the whole. If you go into it early, you're going to make it even longer for yourself to get 2 attacks as a Bushi school.
I actually say, like, if you really want to be mean, just pick up Daidoji and then try to get into,
it.
That would be a mean thing to do to somebody. I got extra health, and I'm gonna stun you.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh god.
So yeah, that's that kind of what I'm at. So moving on, unless you guys have anything else to say on it.
Nope.
Got it.
Oh.
Dragon Advanced School Swordmasters. I actually like them a lot. I don't think they do anything, again, like they kind of fall as like the actual Miyamoto Bushi school, but I actually really like them a lot. I just think they're really interesting to me. They gain a part of the rank 5 effect for for Shiva school. They can spend void points twice around.
As long as they got Katani in their main hand. So you can't do it in like court unless you got your swords blazed.
Yep. You always put your hands on them, like just put your hands on them like as you're crossing your arms. Just do that.
Horribly insult someone.
Yes.
You have to have both, so
You gotta have both.
That would be awkward standing there holding.
You can just put it like you can just like rest your arms on them and like have your hands touch them. Maybe could you count that?
No, it says in your hand.
Oh, what if I'm just holding the sheaths of them? Like, what if I'm just doing that? Those are in my hand.
But
What if they've been stabbed through my hand?
Then again, though, and it just says a katana in Wakazashi, so you just walk forward for an enemy to hit you and then just never take them out again.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All these loopholes just to get the bonus of spending 2 void points.
But then again, what court is allowing you to stand there with your weapons?
I know, right? No, what
Well, having
like,
your hands on them.
like, could you please give me those swords? No, I like. Let me rephrase this. Give me your swords, or there's going to be a problem. It's really
I'm gonna put my hands on both my swords, and I would like to make an etiquette roll to keep my swords on me.
I like the fact that they can automatically get the assessment bonus as well if they, regardless of winning or losing, and then if they actually win it, they also get the assessment bonus from that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And then the last rank is probably any Hida.
Pushes them into more DPS territory. It helps mitigate their piss poor DPS that the Miyamoto Bushi school has.
I don't know, man. I have to say every Hida might be like kind of scared of this because now he can hit you 3 times and he doesn't care how much damage reduction you have.
Well, I love that
it helps them make
reduction. Up. It's not just armor reduction. It's all reduction.
You can technically he can hit an Oni better than
if it doesn't have invulnerability.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't have invulnerability or if he's got a weapon that can bypass it, he doesn't care.
Yep.
Does not care at all. I mean, they're pretty cool. I mean, they're
like the other. They're like like the Miyamoto is to the Kakita. It's
Yeah.
the same thing here. They're kind of like the other Kenjinsen, because the rank 2 is the dueling one. You got, but they're more DPS focused rather than mezzing. That's like the
Yeah.
difference.
That really is the difference. I mean, getting into their school actually makes sense. The fire rank enhances. Fire just kind of makes sense. They've always been kind of a bit of an agility base. I mean, every melee guy is, but it only makes what they do already really good. It benefits other ranks from the Miyamoto boost. The Void makes more sense because, again, they're also got dueling stuff on. Yeah, Kenjutsu makes sense. And then Lore Theology, I think, is the only thing that kind of stands out.
But they're
because
dragon.
They're dragon, yeah. It's like, oh, they're dragon. Which, but like the sword school, if you go by the description, they just focus on the pragmatic use of swords in the thick of combat. I don't think Lore Theology focuses on that. And if we're going to go by like the example of like, the Kenshin Zen have a lot of focus, are like very loyal and understanding of Bushido and whatnot, you would think that would fall on the same line here,
Well,
but they're just dragon.
But isn't technically the Naiten, while it is a military, well, not a military treatise, but a martial art treatise, isn't it still technically a theological book as well?
I don't know.
It is in the same way. It's more philosophical. It's like the sword.
Right, yeah, but it's theological in the way that Confucianism, it can be theological. As
Yeah, yeah.
I guess, yeah, I could see that, but I mean,
Essentially.
the Tao kind of already covers that, so
Well, right, but I think that might be why it calls for the lore theology, is to find the meaning behind just the words of Naiten, to find like the true spiritual meaning of Naiten.
If we were gonna pull from Niten and we're gonna really focus on like where it pulls heavily from Musashi's own book,
Right.
and in his own treatise, it's not really theological in any sense. It really just talks about like the practicality of weapon fighting,
Yes.
the practicality of weapon killing and and whatnot, and it goes into like how to better serve one's lord and stuff, but it never really talks about the heaven, so to speak, or anything like that. It's not very. The book that it's clearly based off of is not very theologically inclined, if at all.
Right.
So that's why I'm hard pressed for it. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I just, for some
nitpick the
reason,
shit out of it. Because that's what I gotta do. It's gotta nitpick, man. Details matter. I give them a 3 or 4. I would put them right next to
Three.
Kenshin.
Yeah,
3 for me.
I give them a 4. I think that they're more have a wider base and a more common practicality than the Kinshensen does.
Yep. I think their abilities are probably going to come more into play as well. Next one up is the Lion's Pride, Lion Advanced School. This one is I actually like the Lion's Pride a lot. I think it's such a cool unit. I like it thematically. I think it's unique wise. I think it's disgustingly good. I mean, just flat off from the start. First off, let's go down the list. No more penalty for full attack. You just go into it and you get your bonus.
Yep.
Anybody who has lower honor can't reroll 10 if they're within 30 feet. And they can only ignore it if they burn through 2 void points at the reaction state. So you still have to go around with that. And then, as I described earlier, if they happen to go first before you and they take a swing at you, you can spend a void to punch them before they punch you. These are really
Which
good.
is usually good if you're a Matsu.
Yeah. Really
Well,
good.
and I mean, so bouncing off of their rank 2, you have to stay a minimum of honor rank 6. If you drop below, you're kicked out of the Lion's Pride. I don't know how that really
You
necessarily
also have to
works
be a
as far as
female
tech-
from the Matsu family.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
so-
right, but my point is that in order for somebody to be able to actually roll their explosions, they have to be a minimum of 6.1.
Yep.
Period.
Yep. If you're playing
And that's
against,
if you're at the very lowest of the ability to and it's also any 10s. It's not just attacks and damage in the same way that the Hida is. It's
yes.
any 10s.
Like if you're literally, it's really funny. This could be this is almost back.
It's a court technique too.
It's if you literally as long as you're standing next to somebody in like a courtroom, this could technically still activate. It doesn't. I don't even think.
Quick, everyone, huddle behind the lines, Prod Brawler. Lance
I mean, like,
Brawler, we gotta
it-
be protected from the scorpions.
It clearly states that like for the encounter you can like avoid it in for any combat round or whatever. But like if you were to omit that part, it could technically work while like they're just drinking tea. Some dude just starts fucking up in the background. Like he just can't succeed any better because he's got a little bit less honor than the Lion's Pride.
He goes to make his tea and accidentally smashes the
He's
tea
just
pot.
that nervous around them.
I mean, I would be too.
She's got so much honor. It's so pressure, so overwhelming.
Yeah.
She's a Matsu,
Matsu's
and
gonna
she's
fuck me
honored.
up.
If I do a little bit wrong, I will lose more than a little bit.
I think just looking at like the traits, I think they make sense. I'm a little bit upset. They're not like it's. You just have to go to 5s. And
4 weapon skills at 3 sucks.
Yeah, that's the one that sucks. 4 weapon skills. Woof. Woof.
But I will
A lot of
say
that EXP.
that and the honor rank and being a female from the Matsu family, making it more difficult to get into it makes sense because of what those techniques are.
Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, if they're so restricted by the lore, you want to make them powerful.
But I mean,
sure.
like, is it? I mean, like, as long as you're a female, you can make a female character. I mean, if your goal is to become a Lion's Pride, you're gonna do it. There's no doubt
Right,
about
but I
it.
mean that's the case regardless. Like,
Yeah. Well, you could be denied from like a Kenshin standpoint. I will give them that. Like you,
yeah, that's
even if you want to become a Kenshin Zen, you could still lose the duel to become a Kenshin Zen.
It's more just
and that
like
means
the.
no.
I'm playing the Mel Kodo Bushi tactical master school for me. No, dude, screw that. Multiple school Matsu.
Yeah, man, pick that up.
You don't need
So,
Lion's Pride Brawler at that point. You're adding honor to attack and damage.
Yeah. I would say at that point, I would give them like a 5 or a 4, probably a
They're
5.
like a 4 for me.
really. I
Yeah.
would give him a 5. Based off of that
It's just yeah.
that rank
It's
2,
the
I
weapon
can't get over
skills. It's the weapon skills for me.
I
That's a
can
lot
see
of
it.
XP.
That it is. I will give that.
And
as a
you
very fair
generally
point.
only want to like lore wise, it's fine, it makes sense. But you generally, as a like role player or like making your character like efficient,
Yeah.
you generally want to focus on like 1 or 2 skills.
That is quite literally 6 EXP to.
So you're probably gonna do
That's
Kenjutsu. You're
6,
probably
so
gonna do
that's 24
Kyujutsu.
XP.
You're
Yeah,
probably gonna
altogether,
do Jujutsu, and then like one other random one
Yep.
that you'll probably never use. So.
Yep. And that's what really kills it. Is that's 24 EXP just to meet requirements. So it's really rough. I can see why that 4 comes into play. Just because it's how mean it is.
Yeah, the techniques are strong, but still.
That entry fee. That entry fee, man.
Yeah.
You need to be this honorable to
This tall to
ride.
ride, yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
So
yeah,
next,
it's probably more of a 4. Yeah.
I could see it. That's why I said like a 4 or 5 for me. I think it
Yeah.
all just depends on
I'm on
how
the
you really want to
fence.
look at it.
Yeah.
So next one is the Mantis Advanced School, which is our first Shugenja, and they're called the Storm Riders. Riders on the storm.
Exactly. I was waiting on that.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, that was good. So it's first off Shugenja school that actually has like ranks, and it's just not learn more spells as you level up. Yay!
Because you need ranks too. You're already busted.
Right.
Yeah.
You need rank schools as well. I mean, just their abilities. I don't know how I'm feeling about them. The first one kind of gives you the first one literally gives you the ability to do force lightning. I just that's really what it comes and boils down to. You're just able to go unlimited power as you just vaporize in front of you.
Yeah, but it
Which I
only rolls
hate.
and keeps the number of damage. Yeah, equal to your air rings. So.
Yes.
Or you
I
can
just-
expend spell slots. to
I'll wait for what the Moshi became.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And the or go ahead, continue.
I think the only downside to this is that it doesn't actually rank. It doesn't actually increase your Shugenja school rank. It's the downside. You're considered one higher at first rank for water spells, but You don't actually go up with Shugenja school rank on that one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it says it right there. Because the second rank, as we're going to go right into, states that your Shugenja school rank increases by 1, and your water rank is considered 2 ranks higher for the purposes of determining how many spells you can do today.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, this seems to be a thing. They never really talk about it, but
Does that
that's
stack?
weird.
So is that technically the 3 ranks higher?
no, it's your tech. Yeah, no, I think it might actually stack. It might be.
Yeah, because of the rank 3 says
Yeah.
is 1
Yep.
more for the purpose of casting water
Yeah,
spells. So
I
you're
think-
essentially 4 ranks higher for water.
By the time I think by the time you get to
Yeah.
because rank 3, again, your school rank goes up 1 higher for the purposes of water spells, and then you can. I don't understand this. You can gain immunity to all spells possessing thunder for 3 rounds, but it only affects mastery level 3 or lower.
Way
How
to
many
go! You
spells-
can fight other Moshi.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how many spells come into this game that are like thunder based?
I will say, tangentially, but there, I almost always take Blood of Osana Woe
It's a good
because I love that advantage, and this is kind of giving you a slightly better version of that for a Void Point.
Yeah.
But it's also a rank.
It's a rank 3 advanced
It's a
skill technique.
capstone, right?
Yeah.
So that makes it feel weak.
Yeah, it's incredibly crappy. You may as well not even go into it. Just level up your basic.
But I mean, at that point too, you're casting all waters at 4 ranks higher. So
You're just
like,
you're just powerful on your merits as a strong water Shugenja at that point. It's less
You're
what
casting-
your skull does.
you're casting at a
Roll.
rank 12 if you went through all 5. So think about those
Roll is crap.
healings. You are those healings.
Those heals would be potent. The entry into it is actually this is both disgustingly mean and yet like not. You have to have air 3, fire 3, and then water 5. Like
But to
water.
To be honest, though, like usually by this point, you're probably
That's
gonna have
true.
air 3 and 5-3.
Yeah.
And waters, if that's what you're building towards, you're going to be casting a lot of water, so you're probably going to be building that high anyway.
Yeah, I'm kind of like this feels so it's so weird because you're already going that way anyway. Like there's
But-
nothing out of your way for this.
But well, there is though. Again, if you're building for it, you're going to build for this to begin with. But you have to take the advantage elemental blessing of water.
Yes,
And
which
if you don't,
raw.
you can't gain advantages after character creation.
Which,
so...
mind you, raw does effectively nothing.
yeah.
That is one of the few advantages in this game that's a complete trap and almost never shows up ever. Beyond that, the hardest thing to get into is just lore, the old man and the sea. You have to take knowledge in that book, and then you actually
5
have
times.
to. Yeah,
Good old
5 times.
Hemingway.
Lore Hemingway, and then you have to take sailing and spellcraft and theology, which I think the skills get you. But yeah, I don't know. I give this probably a 2, maybe a 3.
It's a 2,
if you can convince
in my
me,
opinion.
but I'm putting this at a 2.
I love lightning spells, but I'm going to say it's a 2 as well.
Honestly, the best thing about this school is the first rank where you get to become a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
Really, the best thing about it.
I wish so much that L5R had more lightning stuff associated with it.
That'd be cool.
And I know why, because it's not strictly one of the 5 elements, and so it's or 5 rings, and it's
Nah.
kind of hard.
Screw you, Ortomo.
But it's not. No, I always like lightning magic and lightning powers. Like if I have an elemental choice, I will tend to go with electricity. So I want to have a Shugenja built around it, but L5R just doesn't support it well enough.
Pretty cool. So next up is the Phoenix Advanced School, and it's Elemental Guard. It's a Shugenja surprise.
Wait,
Um,
Shugenja? Why did the Phoenix
I
have a
know.
Shugenja?
I know. Why would Phoenix would have Shugenja is beyond me. There. I mean, because it's a Shugenja, they also kind of work in that weird way where it's like it doesn't technically increase your school rank unless it says it does. So there's always that.
But all of them say it.
I mean, yeah, they all do. So there you go. You're not. I
Yeah.
mean, like it doesn't really matter. Well, for not always, because it says for the purpose of casting of your chosen.
Oh, you're right.
element.
Yeah, you're right. Of your chosen element.
You can. I mean, like the spending the void point as freely just add like twice a rank. of your chosen ring to your armor TN. Like at this level, in order to just get into this, your chosen ring has to be 6. So you can spend a void point to just add plus 12 to your armor, just right there on the spot, and then it lasts as many levels as your Shugenja school rank is.
Yeah,
So,
would be kind of meh if not for the last part.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so I get 2 more TN than anyone else. Okay, that's
Yeah,
not
and then
super exciting, but it's sticking around. And the RP effect that it's like your elements swirling around you is the coolest part.
But
That's the
it
coolest
wouldn't
part.
just be 2 to your TN. It's twice your rank in your chosen ring, so that's a minimum of 12 to it.
Yeah, when everyone else gets 10 by spending a void point. So it's a 2. You get an advantage of 2 over the other person.
But this is on top of that 10.
That 10, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
what?
is a technique. This is a technique of a school. So this is school technique that's not limited.
Oh,
by,
yeah, if you want to spend 2 void
Yeah.
points, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying though. Like if you had a choice, this is one. But like if you're gonna spend a void point, then
I thought you were saying it was 1 void point and you get both. I was like, no.
No.
That would
Sorry.
be so
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But I
second-
do love the visible effect. That is so nice. And from a
The
flavor
second
standpoint.
rank is pretty much essentially what the same one was for the Storm Rider. It's just you can, your chosen ring is like your Shugenja school goes up, your chosen ring you can consider 2 ranks higher for purpose of spell slot. Yay. Sweet. Cool, I guess. Nothing really much there. And then the last rank is neat, I guess.
I mean, spells as a simple action are good.
It's good, but you are under a certain level to do them. You have to be 3 or lower.
No,
And
3
then
or greater.
Oh, 3 or greater. Oh,
Yeah.
that changes it. Never mind. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's really good.
I changed my mind. I thought that said 3 or lower. I was like, it's not really that great. You can already kind of cast those, no problem. Wow. Okay, this is really good.
And
Yeah.
number of times per day.
They're
equals your point
a
rate.
flat 5. Like they might arguably be better just because Shugenja are so powerful.
Yeah.
But on their own merits, they're
5.
not really. But then the Hito one, but like
So here's an interesting.
like a rank 8 Asawa Elemental Guard would probably wipe the floor with a rank 8 Defender of the Wall. Depends
I
on
would
the
agree.
circumstances, but just
Well,
because
but again,
Shugenja
just-
are so powerful.
Yeah, I was gonna say Shugenja in general probably is gonna be able to do that because
They're
magic.
very potent
Yeah.
in the ability to cast. The ability to cast is a simple action, like with a single simple action. You can just do that twice in a round. Holy crap!
Yeah,
That could be a very nasty spell to
I double 10k 10
So-
you as
Yeah.
if I.
So here's one thing that's interesting to note, though, based off of the flavor of it. It says that the priests join one of the units of the Elemental Guard, 4 separate schools that focus on each of the 4 main elements. So you can't really join it if you're Ishiken, can you? For Void. Not that you necessarily would.
I don't think actually. You know what? That's kind of true. Like,
But it doesn't
lore-wise,
specifically say you can't either, though. That's just a lore.
I actually kind of
I don't
understand what
know.
you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that would really depend on like if you want to
Probably
say that there
GM
is
ruling.
it'd be probably
Yeah.
GM call on it. But by raw,
It's probably
technically-
super rare if
But by Raw,
exists
it's
if
both,
exists at
because,
all.
yeah.
Because the specifically states that they only it's one of the 4 main elements.
Yep.
So
And Void is not considered one of the 4 main elements. So yeah, I would say a flat 5 just because of Shugenja and then the ability to cast a simple spell. It's really good.
yeah, so nice.
Next one up is the Scorpion Advanced School. Scorpion
Boo,
Instigator.
boo.
Yeah, this is. Can I make a point here right from the start? I don't even need to look at the techniques. You can just look at the requirements to get into this damn
Oh
thing.
god, yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Awareness
Black
5,
male,
you know what
poor
you're-
individuals.
I feel it's hard. I
40
think
or
it'd be easier
6.
just to write up my resume and just give it to like a company than to get into this bloody. thing.
And on top of that, you must possess at least 1 dark secret and divulge that to your sensei upon joining.
Yes.
You're
Black
better
men.
off just going into another ninja school.
It's Possum
I
Kingdom.
would be- And it's also got some of the most broken skills, I think, as well. They're just disgustingly strong, and they absolutely outshine some other schools, or are a better version of other schools as well. The first one, you just literally get a bonus to your roll of XK0 based on the difference between your honor and theirs. It doesn't care which way it is. It just cares that there's a difference. So the
As long as it's
farther,
Yep.
farther you are away from them, the better it is. That's all that matters.
You know
Be
what?
a Junshin.
I was gonna say that technically means if you are really high honor.
Yes. If you're really high honor, you would actually be really good against people who are really low honor. It doesn't care which direction it goes. So that's so fucking good. Excuse my language.
But I mean, at maximum though, you're probably not going to be seeing anything that's like you're probably only going to be seeing like a +1 or a +2 in practicality, maybe a 3. I don't see you really getting like crazy bonuses off of that though.
I think it's disgustingly good. I mean, you play against like let's say if you even take just a base like school of like a scorpion and like say versus a crane, that's a 4 right there. That's 4.
Is it 4? Because what does the crane start at?
Crane started 6.5. Well, some of them
Okay.
do. Like
Okay.
the Ibushi does. I'm sure the core tier likely starts 5.2. And like Scorpion start at like 2.5.
Yeah, I didn't realize they could start that high. So
Lion started at 6.5 as well, I think.
Yeah, no one starts above 6.
Yeah. And then like their second rank,
A lot better.
you lie, super gooder. Super gooder.
+3, keep 3 to all
yeah.
rolls to conceal your falsehood
Yep. Instead of a 1, keep 1.
when you spend a void.
Yep. You just
Got
immediately
that
become.
combined with that depths of dishonor.
Yeah, if they stack. They stack. So you're not losing. Is to put that into frame. And then the last one is just like this. I guess actually goes back to like a skill of the blackmail, but it's pretty mean. Like you can just quite literally force somebody you either force somebody to do what you say or lose 4 points of honor.
But you have to spend 10 minutes conversing and spend a void point.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
complex,
I just
actually,
don't.
so-
I don't like techniques like this personally.
I think these are really mean.
They're always really, at least in like the PvP games,
Yeah.
stuff where
I would-
you're making people lose honor and glory and stuff. It never goes
No,
well.
it doesn't.
This
out of
rule
character.
is okay if you're playing like a whole team of scorpions and you're specifically playing a very intrigue heavy game. Awesome. Otherwise, I agree. This is one that just wrecks all.
Or a high-ranking antagonist
Yeah.
in a high-ranking
just,
game.
It feels like it can wreck all semblance of order at a table.
It will. I will guarantee you this will wreck all sort of semblance. Because I mean that ability in itself is a social skill roll, which means again it just immediately activates your first rank.
Yep.
It's disgustingly strong, and those requirements in my eyes do not justify it at all. Awareness 5, intelligence 5, perception 3. Well, you're not going to fail at the perception 3. That's going to be up right from the get. These skills, courtier, etiquette, sincerity, you're not going to fail on those either. The only thing that might screw you over is you just don't have a dark secret that you can divulge.
Yeah.
That's
No
the only
Possum Kingdom for
still-
you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
So
and then furthermore too, like when you get their blackmail, a lot of time blackmail, like it's just not. A lot of times it's not like totally career breaking blackmail. It's just kind of like, oh,
I saw you holding hands from
Yeah.
with Matsu.
maybe a minor breach of etiquette, and so the whole as long as its consequences are not worse than revealing the blackmail,
Wait,
then it has
hold
to take
back.
the action.
Back up. Minor breach of etiquette for holding hands. I'll have you know that's one of the lewdest things you could possibly do anywhere in the world. Honestly.
No, I meant
that
just
is-
having a minor breach of etiquette, not calling that a minor breach of
catastrophic breach of etiquette.
blasphemous even.
Blasphemous. May as well
No,
be
but-
put to the axe.
But if you win the roll, it says so long as the action is not life-threatening and its consequences are not worse than revealing the blackmail, then they must do the action or lose the honor.
Yep.
So there's a chance that they may say just reveal the blackmail because it's cheaper honor loss than 4 points.
I was gonna say it's probably just a better honor loss.
Yeah, to be honest, it's rank 3 really feels like it feels pretty weak to me. Like I feel like its rank 2 is a better capstone than its rank 3.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna give it a 5. It's disgustingly good. I just hate it, and I think it's dumb and stupid.
I'm only gonna give it a 3, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm like a
Because
3 too, just because it's core tier. But it's
Core tier and everything that you're gaining the bonuses on, the amount of points you have to invest to even get in here, you're already winning
You know
at
what?
those things.
That is a good argument, and I might have jumped the gun. I'll say a 4, but only because of the fact that even with those requirements, you do what you do to such a disgustingly good degree. There's really not anybody who can take that on.
it's a
And
5
beat
at
you.
pissing off your group though.
Oh yeah, definitely 5 at pissing off the group. So next one, Spider Advanced School is the Obsidian Warrior. That's right. They have
Yeah.
this is actually we've seen this before.
Yeah, you have.
We've seen this. It's really good.
Hate this
You
class.
essentially your maximum raises are no longer limited. Anybody that's within 30 feet of you,
Any skill.
well, not any skill.
Your maximum
Fuge.
raises are no longer limited anyway.
Yeah. No, I meant for the second one. I meant for
You have great potential in everything.
great potential and everything. Just it's meanly good on that. I mean, the ability to reduce your opponent's rolls, both on their combat and damage. So even if they succeed on their penalized combat roll to hit you, they're going to also take a penalty to the damage roll. Is mean, and then they either have to spend a void point to ignore it for that round or suffer the consequence.
Yep.
The only limiting thing is
Strength
that
weight plus your taint rate.
yes. And the only thing that matters is that you're 30 feet range. So if you can get outside of that range, well, then you just prepare. But melee wise,
Just keep firing arrows at them.
yeah, right. Just
up the
pepper them
synergy.
with arrows.
Yeah, we saw how well that worked, right?
All right. The third one is okay. You roll. It's okay for the first part. The second part is what makes it really good. You roll extra unkept dice equal to your strength rank plus your taint rank. So essentially, you double your strength and then add in your taint rank whenever you're rolling an intimidation or fear effect. When resisting an intimidation or fear effect, but you also get to add it to any damage rolls you make with a melee weapon. So.
Mm-hmm.
And considering the fact that in order to get in, you have to have no earth or no strength whatsoever, you could just get 0 strength.
Well, and I was gonna say the hardest part about getting into this is you must survive a skirmish with an obsidian.
You
Yeah,
technically
yeah.
have to be tainted.
It's not just winning a duel and then wow,
Yes.
the duel's over and I'm okay.
You have to
afterwards.
survive.
It's a straight up skirmish too, so it's full on battle warfare, and you gotta survive.
Raise up your defense. That's the only thing I think of. Just raise up defense.
I think.
It doesn't say you have to win. It just says you have to survive. I mean, there's got to be a
Yeah,
point
yeah,
where it
as long
tires
as-
out.
Yeah. I tap out. I'm done. I'm no longer in the skirmish. I'm not fighting no more.
I survived.
Stab. Like, I still survived it before dying.
I still survived. I get to turn your ranks. Skirmish over. I mean, their entry is not bad. They have fine traits. They have
For some reason, Iaijutsu.
Yeah, I don't know why they have Iaijutsu in there. I don't know why that's there at all.
Should probably be any one weapon skill.
Yeah. But it's there. I mean, that's the one that's really weird. But I mean, reflexes, agility, those all make motivation. Trio makes sense. Yeah.
I'm on the fence of a 4 or a 5 for this.
Yeah.
They're like they're in
I'm gonna
between.
I'm gonna put them
Yeah.
at a 4. I'm just gonna put them at a 4.
Yeah, I'd probably lean there too.
Mostly because of that entry of having to. For
Yeah,
me,
the
it's
survival in the Iaijutsu just really throw me off. That's really what kills me. It's hard to do anything. So, I think the last one for the night and the last clan of all is the Unicorn Advanced School, the White Guard. For an elite force
Kill the
That-
Shadowlands.
that murders. You also have to be a devout follower of the Lords of Death. But you don't have to if it's before a certain. But everybody afterwards, you have to be a devout follower. This is pretty much theology skill the game. Literally all their abilities just scale off the theology. You can choose somebody and spend a void point, and they suffer TN penalties equal to your theology. You ignore wound levels double to your theology. You can spend a void point to add your theology.
Man, Shinsei should join the Lock Guard.
I mean, this is theology the game. That's really what it is. It's just everything you do is based around theology, which you should have at least 5 of if you're trying to get into this school, because that's a requirement. So, honestly, the only downside is that like 2 of their abilities require them to spend void points to activate and make use of. But at the same time, when you can add 5 times your lore theology skill rank to a total of any roll, 5 times
Attack roll.
You may spend a void to a total of your.
Whenever you make an attack.
Oh yes, the attack roll, specifically that. I mean,
Otherwise,
really.
you would be the ultimate skill monkey.
I mean, you're not gonna miss. That's 25. I literally just added a plus 25 at minimum. That's if your lore theology is 5. The requirement to get in.
Nah, man, you'll miss. You'll roll once.
All ones.
No, you're too busy sinking points into your lore theology. It's a 10. Now I'm adding 50.
I would agree. Again, I feel like that makes sense. You could screw yourself over by having too much theology, but you have to have an agility 5 to get in. You're rolling at minimum.
It's the laziest design thing I've seen in this game, probably.
It's absolutely very boring. It's really good too because everything is boiled into one stat. It is the one stat the game. Theology the game. You just have that and that's all you need to do. You want to ignore wound penalties? Congratulations. Theology will help. You want to penalize somebody? Congratulations. Theology will do it. You want to just make it easier to hit your opponent? I got a deal for you. It's called theology. It's lazily made, but synergistically, it's probably one of the better ones.
Yeah. I just can't give it a 5 on principle. It's a 4. I just hate the school too much.
Oh god, that's actually kind of funny. It's really hard not to give it a 5.
Oh yeah.
I think the only downside is that it requires an Earth of 5, Agility 5, and Strength of 4, which just means you have to really invest in the specific stats. So your other ones are probably not going to be as high if you want to get here anytime soon.
I feel like
also, if you hate the Lords of Death, it's going to be very hard to get into this.
Yeah.
After the year period requirements.
I feel like that particular requirement is very moot because any player can just write that in the backstory and then it's done. It's been in the backstory. And as a GM, I would require my players to have to really, really show that in their RP before. You need to praise the Lords of Death at least 3 times a day. You need to at least do it 3 times a day for at least 30 minutes every session, regardless of what's happened. If you fail this requirement, immediately kicked out. You're made a monk. Never talked about it again. Black sheep. Every time you put white paint on your face, it just slaws off.
So I'm gonna say I'm not gonna do it out of principle, but I'm gonna say a 4, only because it's kind of almost disgusting how it's made. I feel it's kind of a bit lazy. It works thematically, but it's a very lazy design. It's strong. There's no doubt it's strong, but it's lazy.
They could have just did a lot more cool things.
I think so
with
too.
unicorn stuff than this lazy crap.
Can I just say here, the Pale Face of Death is such a cool technique name. I love it. It's great, and some of this stuff is always just kind of brought down by the fact that there's just such. I mean, I don't want to be mean to the guys who made it, but it just feels very late. 7 out of 1,000.
They know it's lazy. It's fine, meta.
They know what they did. All right. And that's it. Going over that.
Yeah,
So,
I'd put Heat a 1, Phoenix. Actually, Phoenix 1. I think I'm going to go there. Phoenix 1,
Phoenix 1.
Heat a 2,
Yeah.
and then
Obsidian Warriors 3. I think,
yeah,
for
probably
me.
Obsidian Warrior. I think I agree with you.
I'd be hard pressed to disagree. I want to put Kenshin Zen at 3 for myself, just because I think in any circumstance when you get stunned,
yeah, they're always
out of the
good.
Out of the two circumstances, that stun literally decides the fight. That's literally how it is. It decides the fight. And with that in my hand, I think it's 3 tied with the Lion Matsu Pride, because yeah. Although that Obsidian Warrior, oof, I'm gonna put them all at 3. I'm just gonna put them all at 3.
Obsidian Warrior makes it for a great villain.
Oh
Let me tell
God,
you.
yes. It's really
But
good.
then again, that's the spider in general and the scorpion. Spider stole the scorpion shtick.
Yep. So yeah. What is your guys' favorite? Just really quickly, what's your favorite one?
I think I'm gonna surprise everybody. Mine is actually the Defender of the Wall.
Wow, I would have never guessed.
I think Obsidian Warrior is probably my favorite.
I can see it.
Obsidian likes Obsidian.
Yeah, there you go. Pun unintentional. It wasn't even a pun.
I think the obvious is for me. I really enjoy the Kenshin Zen, but it's really just for the stun. I'm a whore for that bad boy.
Meta likes playing the support Mez control.
I
God,
do.
every game,
Honestly,
so
like I had so
it
much
makes
fun.
Sense.
That was so much fun playing that for the time that I got to play it. That was just a joy and a half. It's like, you guys need something locked down? Is there any way I can help? How can I help? Well, this dude's giving us problems. I'll stun him for you. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Honestly, in that one game, Meta made such a great anvil for Tetsuo's hammer.
Oh, it was good.
It
was good, yeah. Stunning them, and then everybody just got to wail on that dude because he had no defense.
It's really
no
good.
defenses, so call your raises.
Just straight up out of a forge, man. Anvil and hammer.
Read all about it. Invest into damage raises.
I like Arm and Hammer baking soda personally, but
Oh my
that's just
God.
me.